Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, as always, my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. Enjoying the weekend here. And just to let you guys know, a quick plug at the time of this recording, when it airs, the newest first episode of the second season of House of the Dragon will have aired. So if you guys are into Game of Thrones or the new spin-off show there, House of the Dragon at all, make sure to check out our live weekly recaps as the new episodes come out this year over on the Late Night Chat Network, which is our main YouTube channel where we used to have these episodes. And then we kind of went here and created our own comic-centric YouTube channel here as a spinoff from Late Night Chat Network. But that is where we'll be airing those episodes. So that's go check out Late Night Chat Network YouTube channel for weekly live recaps of the episodes as they come out. We'll be doing them usually a couple days after the show airs to give everybody a chance to check them out. But we did a show called Watching the Throne over there that we basically went back and rewatched all of the Game of Thrones seasons and did it episode by episode. So we've been doing that for the past year. Me and my co-host JT over there, he had never seen Game of Thrones before we did that show, so he only watched House of the Dragon the first season and then went back and watched Game of Thrones. So we kind of made it a fun thing to do by rewatching all the episodes there, and for him watching it for the first time. So if you guys are into that, I did want to mention that because it's very timely to make sure to tune in to Watching the Throne, where we'll be doing House of the Dragon recaps week to week over at the Late Night Chat Network. So make sure you like and subscribe to this place. You can also like and subscribe over at the Late Night Chat Network if you want to see some of that kind of stuff. We got all kinds of different videos here on the Late Night Collectors community as well. They're comic related and other things of that nature, collecting related. And this week, we're going to be talking about the new comics that came out for the week of June 12th, 2024. You can also check us out on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community to stay up to date for when these episodes do drop every week, and as well as to watch little, snippet videos to see what we've picked up every week. Sometimes we pick up different types of covers and stuff like that for these issues, variants, and stuff. That's a good chance for us to show them off. And spoiler warning, as always, guys, this is a show where we are going to be talking about what happens in the books to properly review them. And sometimes, we're going to show off some of the art in the book. So if you're worried about getting spoiled, you can always read your books and then come back later and check out the episodes. All right, Chris.
All right, let's talk comics.
Talk some comics. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. First up on the docket here today, it's a smaller week for us this week, guys, and but stay tuned. We are going to be talking about some new comic solicitations at the end of the episode for September as well. Things we're looking forward to picking up from DC and Image. But first up here on the docket here, we got Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #1, which marks the return of DC Elseworlds. So let's see what Chris has got here. It's Catwoman?
Yeah.
Nice.
I forget what the name of the artist is, sorry. I think it's one of those ones that they've been getting a little bit of grief. They think everything's freaking AI or something.
Oh, is that the AI guy? I think I've been hearing some news about this guy. Hold on, actually, somebody sent me an article about this. If this is the guy, let me see here. It may not be, but Francesco.
It does look very AI-ish.
Is this Francesco Mattina that did this one?
Good cover anyway.
Is it Francesco Mattina that did the variant?
No, it wasn't him. It's one of that art germ crew.
Okay, yeah, that's it's a big thing right now, actually, in the art community. There's a lot of artists that are even refusing to post their stuff on Instagram anymore because people are taking these things and using them as reference. And it's very, very interesting what's going on with all that. But we won't get into that now. But what happened in this book here, Chris?
Well, this is my first time into this. What's this? The Kryptonian Age or something? I don't remember the first Gotham by Gaslight. And if this is like a continuation from that one from whatever 20 years ago, that's been all. I have no idea what happened back then.
I think the first. Well, I it's been a while since I've read the first one too, but I think this is just supposed to be taking place in the same timeline. I don't know if it's like how well it's supposed to be serving as like a sequel of sorts. I think it's just within the same timeline, which which was kind of like the old, Victorian England type of timeline, like the, where like Jack the Ripper kind of like time. So like that's kind of what like the original like Gotham by Gaslight kind of was. And I think all I took this as was a new story where they're obviously bringing Superman into this world, essentially.
Yeah, that's the way it starts out with, is basically Superman showing up, and then that's all they really mention about him after that, unless I missed something.
No, I didn't see anything else. Yeah.
And then, they kind of just go into the kind of just, wet your feet in about where everybody's at, sort of who's who and what's what. I guess you have Catwoman. She seems to be featured in this one here, where she's, I guess, a purveyor of a house of ill repute, let's say, or something like that. And I guess they're looking for a Green Lantern ring or something. That's what it looked like that they get their hands on, and that turns out to be fake. But there's a whole bunch of other things going on, and Batman showing up here too. It was okay, there's nothing super fancy going on here. This wasn't like I kind of compare these Elseworlds sort of to the Dark Knights of Steel or something, which I still, that seems to be the gold standard, I guess, for DC, at least in my opinion, for these Elseworld tales that come out there. But it's still interesting enough. It's a fun read. I think they got a lot of cool covers coming up. And I was just looking up, that cover is by Kendrick Lim. I don't know if he's the one that was, kind of getting in trouble for the AI covers, but
yeah,
I think part of a group or a crew that kind of worked together.
Yeah, I quite like this. I liked how it was written. It definitely, there was a lot of vocabulary being used here. It was definitely of that time, which I thought that the writer took took some effort probably to kind of like make it seem like it came from that time. A lot of the
I wonder if he kind of just writes it up in regular English. Has to I don't know, Macbeth it up or something.
Yeah,
Shakespeare it up.
I mean, listen, it worked. I mean, it did kind of he should try to transport you to this time period, right? And if it's a period piece of sorts, since this is like this world, Elseworld does take place during that period of time, that, it worked for me. And yeah, the whole thing with Catwoman is like, she does come from money, like she does, doesn't she has money in the comics, but she came from like, no money, but she now has money. And she's known as like a lady of the town, but she also is known to become like a lady of the night as well. Let's say like she's known in inner circles, but also there's rumors going around that she's she's either doing jobs for ladies of the night or knows them all, as she's seen in this issue. So it's interesting. And of course, as we know, those are the people that got attacked a lot by Jack the Ripper and the murders. So that's kind of interesting too in that respect. So I can't remember if she was in the original Gotham by Gaslight, because it has been a while, but since I've read it too, but she could have been in that regard. So it's I liked it. I really liked the art. I really liked how he kind of again took the effort to like draw a lot of the buildings like from that time period and stuff like that. It really did feel like this was a story taking place through the dialogue and the art, honestly, like in this period of time. So I think that they did a good job. Even in that regard, I think that's probably one of the best things about the book is they did take that effort to make it seem like it was during then. And I think they did a good job, honestly. And yeah, but otherwise this is, I think this is like a 12-issue series. Like there's not too much that happened in this. This is basically just bringing you back to this, I guess, timeline and setting up the players essentially. And like you said, you really didn't get, other than the intro of the book, any hint to Superman being around. It was kind of like, yeah, here's possibly the crash landing of Superman. Here's Catwoman in this world. And at the end, here's Batman. And that's basically what it was, right?
Yeah. And the Ra's al Ghul family, or Talia al Ghul, she got some play in this.
Yeah, that too. She showed up at the end, Talia. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be, I'm sure, as they kind of try to make the world bigger now, this Elseworlds of this Gotham by Gaslight timeline, that's going to happen more and more, I'm sure, throughout this series, introducing, this is this version of this character and whatever, as they tend to do with these Elseworlds, right? But yeah, it was a great, I thought, a little action scene there at the end with Batman on the train and before he runs into Talia al Ghul, so that was kind of fun. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was well done. And I look forward to more. I think it just gave me just enough to look forward to the next issue, I thought. So,
Yeah.
and it was done well. What'd you give this?
I got a 3.75.
Yeah, you know what? I might give it a 4. I might give it a 4 out of 5. Just that though. I can't go any higher, but I would give it that because I thought, like I said, just for the reasons given, that I think they did a good job of with
Yeah.
the dialogue and the art. And but yeah, there's not too much that happened in this issue otherwise. All right, next up we got Blood Hunt number 3. Got the red band one here. I took it out of the bag. Screw you guys.
From audience only, I'm still bagged up.
Whatever. What do you think of this?
Well, this Blood Hunt, I don't know. I think I'm enjoying these tie-ins more than the actual Blood Hunt series itself, which I thought it'd be the other way around.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, this story here of this Blood Hunt it's a very local story. Like everything's basically so far has all happened in like the Doctor Strange in a Sanctum Sanctorum or whatever, And they seem to walk back this. I guess with the last one ended out with Miles Morales kind of revealing that he's a vampire, but pretty much, even in the first half of the comic, that vampirism already has been kind of zapped out of him by Doctor Strange. So I thought, they'd kind of work more on that. Well, maybe that'll play out into something else. And yeah, I guess the story moves along, but I don't know. I guess I'm glad it's only six issues, so hopefully just kind of move past this.
5.
To see what's going on in the world.
5 issues, not even 6. It's only 5.
It's only 5. Wow. So I guess big things should be happening soon.
I think you're right, though. I think, like you pointed out, I think the better thing, the more fun storylines are actually happening outside of the main series, which, like, and if anybody hadn't already noticed, I mean, this is really just Jed MacKay's way of, I guess, doing a semi-event, but also just kind of keeping it mostly contained within the books that he's writing right now, which again, these are the main key players. You got the Avengers, you got the Moon Knight stuff, and you got Doctor Strange. So that's like all these characters here that are with them. Those are the books that he's writing right now as well, right? So he's able to kind of keep it focused in that regard, I think. But I think some of these other tie-ins that have been coming out, here's the thing. We're going to be talking about a book in the next book here that I actually was almost not going to read because I haven't been reading it lately. And Jed MacKay also wrote that book, and that book was better than this book. So, I mean, it's interesting that like some of the things that are happening outside of this main event book are actually more enjoyable. And I think that's a good thing because usually those tie-ins are bullshit. I feel like a lot of the time just an excuse to sell more titles that have something to do with the event. But sometimes the writers take the opportunity to tell some fun stories within this within the event. So I think that's what we're seeing in some of these tie-ins. I haven't been reading them all, but what I have been reading has been good. And this is fine. This just reminds me more of his Avengers run this issue though, and not the good parts about the Avengers run because I haven't really been enjoying the Avengers run, right? But yeah, stay tuned on that. We're gonna be talking about that book in a minute here. But yeah, I did like this moment here. I did like the fact that I did like Steve here. He had not Steve Rogers, fucking Sam Wilson here. He was the Captain America represented in this issue, and he had to make his speech here to kind of get his everyone to come together and help them out in this world-ending event that's occurring. And when it ended here at the issue, it doesn't look, I don't know what the hell is Citadel from the sky that comes down. I don't know what's going on here. It says the temple of the first blasphemy. So I don't know what that's all about. It doesn't look too good for our for the Avengers here at the end of this issue, but I guess we'll see what happens. What'd you give this?
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna give it 3.75, but yeah, 3.5 I think is fair. Yep, out of 5. All right, next up, the book I was referring to, I actually thought was better than the tie-in, although Jed MacKay also wrote this, and we weren't liking his Avengers series. I don't know, what did you think about this, Chris? Because on a lark, I kind of heard another comics podcast. I think they picked this as like one of their favorite things they read this week that I saw.
Favorite of the week, but
listen,
that was okay.
It's not a big week, but listen, they gave me the, I was like, oh, did somebody like this? Okay, maybe I'll check it out. And I kind of messaged Chris to check this out just in case here. So what'd you think of this?
Well, if you want to compare this, it like kind of goes back to what I was saying about the Spider-Man back what I said before. If you really like Avengers, I think you're gonna like this Avengers lineup better than the Avengers lineup that started the series. And and the way it kind of went out with I don't even remember who those the Court of Meridian or something back then, and that was just absolute trash. And at least here, this is I like seeing Captain America being Captain America. I'm not enjoying
Yes.
Captain America's run in his own book.
Yes.
Even though I didn't like the way Captain America was portrayed here, he was a little bit too jokey for my. He had a little bit too much banter here. Maybe not jokey, but I've never known him to be so banterous like that. With kind of little jokes here and there. But otherwise than that, it was a good fun read. Nothing too crazy. What they're trapped in the helicarrier, and they kind of free a bunch of people. They think it's okay. Now we got rid of all the civilians. We go kind of fight, and then they find out there's a ton more civilians or prisoners on the ship, and then a ton more vampires that are locked in there too. So I'm liking Hercules though. That was a big surprise. I haven't seen Hercules in a while, and I think there's a great portrayal of him here. I just like the way he talks. I like the way they have him so huge. Like he was always a big guy, but he was never like Hulk sized here. So that was good to see too. I
Yes.
enjoy that part.
Yes, Chris, you said all the things I wanted to say on this book. I agree. This is a fun fucking Avengers team, better than the current Avengers team that they have, as Cap being Cap in it. I loved Herc in this. I love the action. I mean, they're fighting Nazi vampires. What's not to like? I had a lot of fun with this. I thought this was a fun fucking time, this book. And there's that whole little joke about Kate Bishop here. They're like, oh yeah, look at this nerd. Like, how do you? Because they're talking about the escape pods on the helicarrier at one point, and they're like, oh no, they're gonna fall in the ocean. She's like, actually, their escape pods are able to like protect them when they fall, and they actually serve as like a safety escape pod, and blah 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 blah. And she's like, how the hell did you know that? Did you like study the helicarrier when you were a child? And then it cuts to a picture of her in 4th grade, like looking like with a little like model of the helicarrier. She's like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I like that a lot. That was fun. I did actually really like the humor in this. And how the fuck was this more fun and better than the fucking Blood Hunt book? Jed MacKay wrote this book as well. He has been writing this book. I'm like, so you are capable of doing a fun Avengers book. It's like you literally just want. That's why I don't know if that's editorially.
I think it has to be like there's no reason that you have an Avengers book and Captain America isn't leading the Avengers. I was just thinking while you're talking there too, this is a good way that they have these side characters, like kind of B-level characters, like this Hazmat. And even, like I know Kate Bishop, she should be there, they're trying to push her as an A-level character. But, I don't feel like I'm getting rammed down my throat as in, in the original Avengers, even with Captain Marvel, I know she's very, she has got a great history in Marvel, but, I just feel like they're ramming her down your throat as the leader of the Avengers. Even Sam Wilson in that Blood Hunt, he has to go make the speeches and things like that. I know she makes the speech here, but
yes,
I don't know. I just feel like it's not sort of forced on you so much. Like this seems to be more organic.
Yeah,
like that Hazmat character. I don't even know who she does or what she does. I am kind of enjoying her presence here.
Well, Chris, she actually used to be as a side character in the Captain Marvel book you used to read, written by Kelly Thompson, if you don't recall, Hazmat. And I really like Hazmat. She was like one of the Young Avengers type characters. She's been in a bunch of things over the years I've enjoyed. But you're right. These are like BC list kind of characters here. And Jed MacKay knows how to do this. We've seen him do this in other books. That's what I mean. Like, I think it's just because he's forced to do that, or he took on the job of doing the prototypical Avengers book, like the lead Avengers book. I don't know if it's like he thinks he has to approach that title like that normally, or it's an editorial thing, and that's what they wanted him to do. But this is a much better fucking Avengers book. Like this is how his Avengers should have been, is what I'm saying. This issue is a prime example of what he should be doing. And hopefully people talk enough about this that after this event's over, maybe this is the direction he's going to go with it. I doubt it, but I would like to see it, because I think that I would have much rather the tone and approach in this single issue that he's been doing here in this whole Avengers run, because we just haven't connected with that book. And I feel like what we're seeing in Blood Hunt is basically more of that Avengers tone. And I like this a lot more. Like this reminds me of like the Black Cat Jed MacKay stuff I've read, like things like that, right? Like so I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, what'd you give this out of 5?
Yeah, it's better, but it's still not great in my books. But I'll give it I'll pump that up to a 3.75.
I'm going to go 4 for this. I really enjoyed this issue, and I'm glad that I saw someone talk highly about it because I would have not read this because
Yeah,
I haven't been reading his Avengers, right? So, but I think it's a good example of just even an Avengers one shot. If you were just pick this up, guys, I mean, it continues in the next one, but I think it's a fun issue. And if you're reading Blood Hunt, for sure, I think this is worth checking out. All right, next up, I got Geiger number 3. Still just reading this one digitally. As I ended up picking up this book in trade. Actually, now I think you ended up with the trade. I got the new hardcover that came out just this past week of this book. I'm really liking this return to him coming back with his second series of this book. I think every issue has been getting better and better. In the start of this issue, you get a little tease of Junkyard Joe there. The robot guy in the from the war that he also did a book about in this line of titles that he does with the Ghost Machine stuff. And so I guess I don't know if he's gonna show up in this book. He's made reference to him before in this being the same world. But then this issue opens up with, the main characters here. We got Geiger and the guy that's worked for that Knights of the Round Table, whatever the other faction, this other group that survives in this world. I guess he used to be part of this group of these guys that dress up like knight characters and stuff like that survives in the wastelands. And yeah, the start of this, you see them. They're in a library. Geiger, he's kind of known to have a book with him and read throughout his journeys, and he likes reading. And I guess they went here. He took a moment to go find some new books for himself, and he ends up finding a book that reminded him of better times when he was with his family before all this, like nuclear fallout shit that happened. And now so there's a whole kind of talk in this issue about like this guy doesn't understand because he's an idiot and he doesn't read why they're wasting their time looking at books. He doesn't understand why books are important to him. And then he kind of gets into a fight with him because he makes a lot of noise while they're in the library. He starts like yelling out because no one wants books. And this guy freaks out. And he's like, listen, you're not used to being out here in the fucking wastelands like I am. You fucking idiot. We're going to get attacked if you yell out like that. There's all kinds of things out here that can get us. You're used to being in your castle with those other guys you used to be with, used to roll with. This is not how we do things out here. So he kind of, this guy's a bit of an idiot that we've learned about this character so far, but he's got like a heart, and he keeps doing these moments with him where you kind of feel bad simultaneously for this dude. And it happens again in this issue. Like he kind of goes and self-reflects, and he's like, I get why you like books now at the end of this issue. Like, cause they get out of this situation and then they get attacked in the wasteland after this whole situation in the library or in this library. And they get attacked by these guys. And in the attack, he ends up taking them out, Geiger, but the book ends up getting damaged and ruined, and he freaks out. And again, this guy doesn't understand. But then when he goes to sleep in the middle of the night, this guy goes out and finds another, I guess, library or bookstore and finds the book for him again. That he travels and risks his life in the middle of the night to go and find this book for him and bring it back to him. And he gives him the book here at the end of the issue. And he's like, I get it now. I get why you like this so much. He's like, it's because like he explains that, books can take you back to another time. And it's so true. Like, it's just like music or books or anything like that. Like, if you remember, you have a memory attached to it, like when you experienced it for the first time, and it can kind of like you make it better for you in that regard, right? The nostalgia behind it. And that's kind of what the message is in this issue. And that's kind of why he feels so much for this book. It's not even so much that he wants to read the book or he likes the book, is because he remembers better times of his family being around when he had read this for the first time. So good message, good issue, great art. And then at the end, it gives you a tease about the bad guy. He abducts his dog, his two-headed dog there, Geiger. So now he has to go chase after this guy and get his dog back. So really good story. He has a good balance of action and adventure and also human kind of like nice moments like that, and like kind of like real character building shit going on in this book. So I'll give it a 4.25 out of 5 this week. I think this return to the series has been great for Geoff Johns. And then we got Scarlet Witch #1. They just wrapped up that Quicksilver miniseries with her, and it's the same writer and I think artist coming back into the main ongoing series, another relaunch series for her. And yeah, this started out okay. I thought it was fine. I don't really like Steve Orlando's work normally, the writer who wrote this, but I've been liking the Scarlet Witch for the most part. But this was basically the setup is like some sort of like demon thing, monster attacks them, and she has to like go and magic them away. But then in the fighting, one of her associates ends up getting killed possibly, and they're on the it looks bad for them already. One issue into this new series, and Quicksilver, her Wanda, her assistant there, she goes to like or not Wanda, whatever the fuck her name is. I forgot this woman's name, but she used to be in Doctor Strange too. She goes to like help her, and she ends up fucking going to get Quicksilver for her to help out. And there's a whole thing about the Darkhold, like power that she's getting power from the Darkhold, which isn't good. So she goes evil. Scarlet Witch at the end here, it looks like she can't control what the power that she's basically siphoning from here, and so it's kind of basic fare, I think, for these these magic type of books. It's not bad, but we'll see where they go from here. I give this a 3.5 out of 5. And then you got Hate Revisited #1. Sorry, guys, these are the block of books I only read this week. This is a book from like the late 80s, 90s, Hate, that was really good. I actually just read it for the first time this past year. There's a box set that collects the whole original series. And it's kind of like a slice of life book about this guy, Buddy Bradley, that like lived in Seattle. And it kind of follows his exploits like around from Seattle to other cities. I think he moves back to Jersey at one point. And it's kind of just like your basic indie book of that period of time, but it's kind of got funny cartoonish art and humor to it as well as the slice of life aspect of it. But it's one of those things where this first issue, it's one of those things where I don't think you can return home again sometimes. And I know I didn't experience this book in the moment, so maybe I'm judging it harshly because I just read the whole book, the whole collection of it this past year for the first time. I didn't think this was a great issue. It's a 4-issue miniseries. I'm probably going to drop it. I think I got the next issue pre-ordered as well too. But of course, this is them kind of touching, checking in on this character during today's times. So of course, there's comments on politics now and things like that nature, and you're getting the flashbacks here in black and white in this issue, and the today kind of present day moments in color in this issue, because the series was originally black and white, and then I think they did color later on in the years of the publication of the original Hate series. And I don't know if it's just because the guy's getting older, or maybe he has some health issues. The line work like looks a little bit less as refined, honestly. Like some of his actual drawing in this issue, I thought wasn't as good as I know, and it is very cartoony, and like it's not like the lines are. Like it's supposed to look this way, but then at the same time, I felt like this was not as good as some of his other work I've seen. So yeah, I just didn't like this all too much, to be honest with you. I was happy to see it, that he's able to do more comics with this character again, but I might just check it out when it's all said and done, because this was not a great first issue I felt for this miniseries. Oh yeah, this was a funny gag, like kind of like 1-page strip that he had at the end of this issue. I got to mention this because this was funny though. There's the guy in this scene is like, oh my God, it's Tony Danza. It's fucking Tony Danza of all people. It's like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like, and then he's like, he's like, you're so good looking. He's like, thanks, man. And then all of a sudden, he's like, can I just see your wiener for a minute? He's like, sure. And he just like whips his dick out. He's like, wow, I'm so lucky. I was like, what? Why is this happening right now? And it's just like a panel of him, Tony Danza whipping his dick out. And for anybody that knows Tony Danza from fucking Who's the Boss, it's so random. So I'll give it that. It gave me a laugh for that, but it was so fucking stupid and weird. I'll give this a 3 out of 5 though. It didn't meet the mark other than the Tony Danza wiener joke. There you go. There's our title of the episode. So next up we got Napalm Lullaby number 4. All I'm gonna say about this is I'm dropping it. It's not bad. I just still can't get a handle on what's happening. I don't think that they've really given us enough time to like understand this world or these characters most of all. And like I said, you know, if this the approach that Remender is taking in the storytelling in this book is not going to do that at first. I do have all the faith in the world in him. He's one of my favorite comic book writers, creators, and I might just revisit this when it's collected though. So I just, you know, I'm really enjoying a lot of his other books that are out right now. Sacrificers. I just really like the first issue of Grommets that came out last week. I think it was that we talked about it. So like, this is just one, just like the Holy Roller book that had come out that I read a few issues of that I'm just not clicking with 100% right now. And, you know, to continue reading it in issues, it's just not doing me any justice. So I'm going to drop it for now. In this issue, there's a big fight sequence that happens in this one where he fights some chick that in this like holy place, like this whole, you know, place that they have that's basically supposed to be like she's the Messiah or something, but she's like a superhero character. It seems like she's like superwoman or something. And there's like all this worshiping going on over here, but you know, I think it has a lot to do with religion and what could be making people like not have original thoughts or something like that. And, you know, I mean, like, is there some, I get some of the themes that are happening in this book, but as a whole story, it's not clicking for me right now. So I'm dropping it. I'll give this again, a 3 out of 5 this week. I just really didn't connect with this issue, even less so I feel like the other issues in the series, but you know, we'll see. Maybe I'll revisit it. All right. Here, Deadpool and Wolverine World War III, number 2, Chris. I think you also didn't read this one, you said?
No.
Okay. Again, I'm trying to be quick with these. Not much to say about this one. I didn't like this either. I regret pre-ordering this one. Didn't like the first issue. Didn't like this issue. I think there's some good art in this book by Andy. I think it's Adam Kubert on this one. Yeah, Adam. I think it's Adam. But the main story though is gobbledygook. I think it's stupid. I don't understand the point of this story. I don't know where this story came from. There's a whole thing about, you know, reason for them to meet up and fight and also become friends again at the end of this issue and be on opposing sides throughout this storyline so far at times. And there's like a whole guy, I guess, that's like, you know, they're like fighting for people's pleasure, like they're watching like a Hunger Games ass type of situation. I don't know. Like there's like a lot of talk about technology. And I could care less about this story. I think the story is really bad. And I think I called the guy Joe Casey, the writer, last time we talked about this book, but it's actually Joe Kelly, who I confused those two guys. But I have to correct myself there because this is Joe Kelly's doing this one, not Joe Casey. I mix up those writers' names sometimes. So yeah, just not good. Not good. Fucking poor. If you would watch the movie that comes out soon and you go to pick up this miniseries because you see it in stores, you're going to be disappointed. I haven't watched the movie yet, but I guarantee you it's better than this fucking miniseries. Thank God this is only 3 issues because I've already pre-ordered the whole fucking god-awful thing. I gave this a 2.5 out of 5 this week. Yeah.
I talked some bullets this week.
You did. All right, Chris. Fantastic 421. I think you read this one, right?
Yeah, I read this one. It's another Blood Hunt tie-in. And once again, it's another good, like another kind of decent Fantastic Four story. You know, Fantastic Four has been running a little different lately. You know, more of these sort of science type stories. I guess they try and keep that science type vibe here. But you have, what's his name? Mr. Fantastic and Alicia. Is it Alicia Grimm or?
Yeah.
Yeah, they decide to go to New York to visit the museum there. And I thought it was a little hokey with all this stuff where Reed can't appreciate art because he's too smart or something. And they kind of pushed that story a little bit too much for me. But while they're there, of course, the blood hunt breaks out or the sky's dark. And, you know, they kind of explain that since Mr. Fantastic is all rubbery, I guess, he doesn't have to really worry too much about the vampires biting him. And it kind of just goes to see how he can help people out here. And I think the first plan of action is to almost they kind of stretch him out so he kind of covers that the Museum of Modern Art that they're in, and then they decide to go to Madison Square Gardens. And, they kind of fire up that place there because it's got its own generator, so they have the lights, or he's fixed the LED so it can simulate the sun, and they think everybody's safe there, but then these vampires kind of pull a bit of a sacrificing act there where they just kind of get themselves all in a ball and goes, hey, not all of us are going to make it, but not all of us are going to die. And then it looks like they're going to be rushing the whatever, Madison Square Gardens there as Mr. Fantastic and Alicia, they're still wondering what's going on back home. And they do have some cutscenes or some other scenes of Ben and Sue Storm and I guess Johnny kind of just taking care of business or keeping things safe at the home front. But why they're so worried about the kids there, like you're stuck with Sue, Ben Grimm, and the Torch. Like, what are vampires going to do to those three people? It's not like they're powerless or anything, but otherwise, it's still a good story. I just like seeing the heroes kind of see how they all go about trying to defend the vampires and not just go out and kill them, because he's there. Reed's also trying to figure out a way to save these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with this one. I'm surprised actually they got in on the Blood Hunt tie-in issues. I don't know. I didn't think maybe the way this book has been structured so far with a lot of their science kind of problematic kind of science like approach, like each issue to like the one shots that they've done would work, if it would work for this event, but they found a way to kind of, I think, succeed in doing that in this issue, given that he's trying to come up with a solution to help all the people here in this situation. And I do like how the vampires banded together and came up with an idea of how to shut down the power source that he created and get in there. That looks like at the end of the issue. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was good. It was a good issue. I did like it. I think, like I said, I wasn't sure if it was going to fit into the formula and why he was really the Fantastic Four were involved in this Blood Hunt tie-in. I don't think they needed to be, but I think he pulled it off. I think it was a good issue. Yeah. So, what'd you give this?
I got a 3.5.
Yeah, I
give it 3.75. Whatever.
Yeah. 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we got the Deviant number 6.
Yeah, I just read this one online, and I guess up until this point, they've been trying to kind of keep the mystery of who the killer is, and then they've been kind of leading it down a path, thinking that guy that's writing all the stories is the killer. I think they got him locked up in jail now or something. Or are they on the hunt for him here?
Yeah, no, I think he's in. I think he's in for questioning right now, and this guy is just going around investigating things. I think while that's occurring, I'm pretty sure.
And then in this issue here, they kind of present, I guess, the opposite case there. I guess his boyfriend is talking to the police, saying, if this guy was a killer, why would he keep his suit here? Why is this, kind of leading you down a path where he may not be the killer? So I guess putting some doubt in the reader's mind. So I didn't mind that part of the story either. And, it's just, it's kind of a good back and forth where you think you're going one way, and like, oh, maybe he isn't the killer, maybe he is getting framed. And then I think he ends up going back to talking to the guy that's in jail.
Yeah.
And, this guy, kind of what's, almost like the Hannibal Lecter type of character is like, what sort of key does this guy hold that, he almost, you'd assume that he has the answers to this somehow in whatever he's talking about. So
right.
It's a good comic.
Yeah, I think it's really coming to an interesting point right now, the story. And in this issue, you get the, I love when, like the detectives in the story now roll up their sleeves and really start connecting all the dots of the actual evidence that they have right now. Yeah. And the fact that the main cop here that we've been following, who's investigating into this, is trying to, being like, yeah, this is laid out way too quickly.
Too easy.
Yeah, like why would he lay out all like the evidence all points towards him, and the way that it's all kind of presented is weird. So he's like, yeah, you know what? I like it because his boyfriend there is just like trying to tell him this, and he's just like, yeah, maybe not though. He's like, I'm exploring all possibilities right now, right? So he's not giving up on the fact that he's the killer either. And to be honest, I don't know who it's going to turn out to be, but it's really interesting. And then you have the boyfriend, even he's got to go do the classic, make a board and connect all the dots type of shit, which I love a good scene like that. Like whenever that happens in something, count me in. I love that shit. When
Maybe he figured out something there that we don't know yet. And we'll find out later on.
We'll find out.
Maybe he's the killer.
Could be, right? So yeah, so we'll see. The way it ended, I'm very much looking forward to what happens next. I think this is a 9-issue series, so we're about 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah,
really interesting though. Getting really interesting, the story right now. So it's good stuff. What'd you give this?
I give this a 4.
Same, yeah, 4 out of 5 this week. And last but not least, we got Transformers number 9 here. Great cover by DWJ on this one. I really like this one.
Where's my Transformers number? Oh, there we go. Yeah, same cover.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Is this the beginning of a new arc? Or did the new arc start in the last issue? I guess it started. This is a continuation from the last issue.
Yeah.
I think that Shockwave character, he showed up, and I wasn't too familiar with him. And he turns into a giant gun. So, and I guess he is, almost has some sort of leadership there, but he seems to take out some guys here pretty good. I don't know. There's one scene where he turns into a gun, and I think Soundwave is shooting him. I imagine he's much more intimidating as a robot than a gun in somebody's hand. But otherwise, another story that was going on, I thought was kind of taking place in the past, is the story that's going on in Cybertron. But it looks like that's happening sort of in real time.
Yeah.
Because they have some sort of bridge that's opened up. And I guess one of the Autobots comes through with somebody. I forget what the storyline's going on with that.
Yes.
But yeah, just, there's a lot of action in this one, a lot of big throwdown fights.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Autobots sort of get their asses kicked in this one a bit. They're the ones on the retreat at the end of this.
Yeah.
And, we'll see where things go from there. And I think, wasn't there, what's his name? Spike. Spike's in some jeopardy too.
No, it's Cliff. Isn't it Cliff Jumper?
Well, Cliff, yeah, one of the Autobots gets blasted.
So he gets blasted, but then Cliff Jumper, he gets left behind, and there's like a guy that's gonna do like fucking like mad science shit on it. Like he's like the guy's like, yeah, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna mess around with you or whatever. And he's like, no. It was like the way it ended. I was like, oh no, that sucks for that guy because he got left behind because Optimus was just like, I gotta help him out. And then he's like, no, there's no time. You got to get the fuck out of here. He's like, all right. And they literally left a man behind. And then he's like, and then you just see him there. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do some experiments on you. And he's like, no. I was like, oh, that's brutal.
I know. Looks like he's in the jail and some bad things are going to happen to him there.
I know. That's why the way they portrayed that, I was like, whoa. Yeah, and then this guy showed up here at the end, right? I'm not too familiar with him. The new one that's showing up now, but this was a much needed action-packed issue, like, because I think the last couple they've just been building up the story. But like you said, everyone's kind of throwing down in this issue, a lot of fighting going on. And it doesn't look like they're doing so well so far. So Beachcomber, that's the guy that shows up here at the end. That's with Buddy there. Yeah, that's what he says here. He's like, these Autobots have been on this planet for many years. I must conduct experiments on the effect this has had on them. And he's like, experiments? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yes. And then Cliff Jumper's like, wait. He's like, painful experiments. And he's like, no. So yeah, the way that ended, I was like, oh, that was the best part of the whole issue for me. I was like, oh, he's screwed. And then like Optimus left him there. Oh boy. What'd you give this out of 5?
I give this a 4 out of 5. It's one of the more anticipated comics of the week, let's say.
I was gonna give it 3.75, but because of that scene, I might give it a 4 out of 5. It didn't make me be like, oh no, and I don't really know Cliff Jumper. I was just like, because like Cliff Jumper is basically acting as the Bumblebee character in this book because Bumblebee isn't here. So, but yeah, like he left his little buddy behind there. So yeah, I got to give it up. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. That was brutal. All right, that's going to do it for the books that came out this week that we wanted to talk about. As I mentioned, a little bit of a smaller week here. But let's talk about some new comic book solicitations that we're looking forward to, things we're going to be picking up. in the month of September 2024. Let me just bring that up on the
I
screen.
still got to get my August pull list in. Oof, time's catching
Yeah,
up.
I think these came out a little early, to be honest with you, because I think that
Yeah, it seems early, but
yeah, those I don't think are due for another week or so, I think. So yeah, anyways. But shout out to comicreleases.com. We have no affiliation with them, but this is the site we usually use to showcase the solicitations when they come out, and they do a good job. So let me just bring this up here.
so, shout out to my solicitation smokes.
Yeah. Who could forget that? Oh yeah, I forgot to do this stupid office thing now. I don't like this though, guys. All right, here we go. So the single issues for DC Comics. We're looking at DC for September 2024. Batman 152. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good cover. So I guess this is now dealing with Absolute Power event, these issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably go with the A cover. That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
I suppose that new Robin's going to be kicking around for a while.
Was that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween #1. Now, Tim Sale, the original artist that did this story with Jeff Loeb, he died a few years ago. But I guess they're going to be returning to this timeline with Jeff Loeb, and Eduardo Rizzo, who's an excellent artist, is going to be drawing it instead of Tim Sale, I guess, because he died. I'm going to check this out. I think this is Long Halloween, one of the more popular Batman stories, let's say, like over the years. So I think this is a good team. Jeff Loeb, the original writer of Long Halloween, returning. How about you? You going to check this out? Or
Oh, I worry getting burned on this. They're kind of just living off the name now.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up reading it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, they are putting good artists on this book too. So I don't know. I think it's just like, it's not like the approach that they're taking doesn't seem too half-assed, but is this actually like a story he wanted to tell with Tim Sale before he died? Who knows? This might just be a cash grab, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween 0. I guess this is an issue showing you the prelude to Batman: The Long Halloween. This is with Tim Sale. I guess this is the last thing that they had worked on. So maybe they were reprinting the final collaboration. Oh, yeah, they did a little short story, I think, before. Maybe they were planning on doing this then before he died, because they did do this little short story. I think it's being reprinted here before he ended up dying there. So that they're reprinting that here for us. So that's interesting. Absolute Power #3. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good cover. Yeah, some good ones here. I don't know. I might just go with the regular cover. This one's good, actually. I might go with that if that's a regular one. Absolute
there.
Yeah, exactly. Absolute Power Super Sun #1. No. I don't plan on it. Superman 18. Some cool.
Yeah, I'll be in on this for a while.
Cool Zatanna covers here, it looks like. Oh, this is one of the covers right here that's getting fucking shit on right now. This one here. This is this is the Francesco Mattina, who I believe has a bunch of variants throughout these solicits, and I think that's why that
that's one to get then for sure.
Yeah. That's one of the
one's not a ratio cover.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that's a lot of people are making a stink about right now, and he's a popular cover artist right now, but DC keeps hiring him, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of artists coming forward now, and they're showing you covers that they've done and that he's completely ripped off the pose from. Apparently, there's a lot of like I've looked at all, like, because sometimes like some of these things you're like, it's a bit of a stretch. I looked at some of the examples and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look looks basically that's what he's doing. It looks like, so I don't know. Anyways, Wonder Woman 13. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got an art germ there.
Oh yeah. Is he gonna? I wonder if he's gonna do ones of all the different Wonder Woman what?
Yeah.
Not Supergirl, Wonder Girl, and like the other one, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Green Arrow 16, no. Green Lantern 15, no. Absolute Power Origins 3, no. Absolute Power Task Force, no. Absolute Power Task Force, no. Both issues 6 and 7. Wow, there's 7 issues of that. That's a 7-issue series. Okay, a lot of tie-in stuff. Okay, so that's gonna do it for that. Now we're moving into the Batman office. Why was Long Halloween an Absolute Power? Is that tying in the fucking Absolute Power? That's weird if it
Yeah, I
is.
think they got freaking mixed up here.
Maybe it just got mixed up. Yeah, because that should have been the Batman books. Batman office. You got Detective Comics 1089. No. Witness the final curtain of Rom V. Yeah, okay. So this is the end of it. I've been hearing about him wrapping up his series for a while here. So, and Tom Taylor also wrapping up Nightwing here.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. The final issue. This is the final one right here. So yeah, this is Fallen Grayson. Yeah, number 5 of 5. What cover? Oh, that's a good cover though. That is good. After this, we never see him and Barbara together again. You never know. So I don't know if that's the one I should get. This is kind of cool too, but nah, I probably would go with this one or this one here.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Nightwing Uncovered number 1. I guess these are just covers. Batman Dark Age number 6 is the last issue of this miniseries. Yes, I'll be picking this up. Okay. Oh, Ian Bertram, I think, that drew that. Yeah. That's a 1 out of 25 variant. Batman the Brave and the Bold number 17. No. Catwoman, you still reading this?
I might be.
Nice covers.
Picking it up.
Nice covers as always. This is what gets you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even that one's good. That's some good covers. Yeah, nice ones. Birds of Prey 13. Yes. Oh, is that a? Hold on. Oh, is this it's probably like 1 in 25, I would guess. If it isn't, I would pick this up. That's a really good cover. I like Cassandra Cain. That's probably my favorite Batgirl, honestly. That's a nice cover too, though. This one, I think is this the regular cover or the second? Oh no, that's another variant. That's a nice one too. Batman and Robin 13. No. Harley Quinn 43. Unfortunately, yes. Some good covers for this one too. Oh wow, that one's cool. All the Harleys.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one. That's got to be the 1 in 25.
No, I think that's one of kind of the highlight ones. There's a whole bunch of them coming out.
Okay, yeah,
like different characters.
I'm down with that one. Artist Spotlight variant.
Yeah.
Nicola Scott. If that's Nicola Scott, then yeah, I think it is. It looks like her. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll definitely grab that. Poison Ivy 25. No.
I did read the last one from last week. It wasn't too bad.
Are you in on this still, or what?
I'm out of it, but I feel bad that the story's kind of picking up now.
This is the oversized 25th issue.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Boland cover. Sick. 1 in 25, of course. I like his covers. He's the guy who did like the Killing Joke and stuff back in the day. Yeah, good cover artist. Multiversus Collision Detective number 1. No, I don't even know what that is, but no. What is Adventure Time in here? What the hell is going on here?
I don't know. There's read the synopsis for this one. It's like a crossover, all these wacky characters.
Ah, fuck. I might actually have to check this out then. Why are the Looney Tunes and Adventure Time are in this? Yeah, that's what it seems like. I guess wait, how? They don't own Adventure Time, do they? Does Warner Brothers own them?
Maybe it's everything on WB, all the WB cartoons.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't think that was one owned by them though. Huh. All right, maybe. Batman, Superman, World's Finest 31. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be back in for this, I think.
Is that Eclipso? Is a bad guy? Yeah, it is. It's Eclipso. Yeah, nice. Action. Oh, that's a nice one too. Action Comics 1069. No. I'm out.
I don't see where they are in there, but.
Oh, nice.
Well, that one's not too bad either.
Yeah, nice covers. Let's see here. Trinity Special, World's Finest number 1. I think this is just a collection of the backup stories that have been going on with her, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay.
good stories, but we've read them all already.
Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna pick that up. Outsiders 11, no. Titans 15, no. Power Girl 13. You still reading this?
Oh, I think I'm out. I might be still reading it. I think it's some super covers. I'll go, but I know nothing took my fancy there.
All right, Shazam 15, no. The Flash 13, no. Okay, now we're in Elseworlds. Batman the Barbarian. Fuck yes. Yes. Greg Smallwood is sick, man. Chris, you got to get in on this. Good artist.
Man.
I'm telling you.
Look like
one of 6. Yeah, I'm in on this. This is gonna be a good looking book, man. Greg Smallwood's the guy that did the Human Target book, remember? With Tom King. I like his stuff a lot. Batman's
weird. Gonna have all the same old characters. I mean, like even that Gotham by Gaslight or whatever.
Yeah,
the characters they put in there. It's freaking Catwoman. It's the League of Shadows. Like I know it's the first one. There better be more surprises in that one, especially with 12 issues.
It's Elseworlds. That's what it is.
No, come on.
I know.
You can't have the same freaking 3 characters all the time in every Batman book.
Look, this one's about Wonder Woman. Look at this. I think that's Wonder Woman of the Gotham by Gaslight Kryptonian Age 3. Yes.
Yeah.
DC versus Vampires World War V number 2. Yes, World War.
Yeah, on this world. I like this world.
Yeah. World War 5, I guess. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be picking this up. I like this cover too. Actually, I might just stick with that one. Well, that one's nice too. Yeah. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter 3. You said you don't know about this, right?
Yeah, I'm still on the fence on this one. I'll probably read it, but
fair. I'm in.
Might put out the...
I'm in apparently on all these Elseworlds books. I'm in on every single one. Yeah. Oh, look at you. I'll tell you about how good these things are when you don't buy them. Or it could be like today, where like 3 books. Like this wasn't good. I'm definitely checking this out. I'm excited for this book. Did you hear about this? Plastic Man. Yes. Yeah, I'm in on this. Plastic Man is a fucking hilarious character. I think this is going to be, and it's written by Christopher Cantwell. I think he's the right guy to do this kind of tone. So I'm definitely in on this. Body horror, Plastic Man noir from the Eisner-nominated team of Christopher Cantwell and Alex Lins. Yeah, I'm in on this one. You out, Chris?
Maybe.
Jenny Sparks, I think I'm in on this. Some interesting, different type of books happening, though, finally. It's not all Batman. I mean, there's a lot of Elseworlds and a lot of Batman and whatever, but, these are not characters that, like, again, you ask for different type of books, guys. You got to pick up some of these books if they sound interesting to you, because these are different type of characters that they're doing here. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Jenny Sparks, I think I'm going to pick up too. Boy Wonder number 5. No. John Constantine Dead in America. I'm waiting on the trade for that. Zatanna Bring Down the House. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm in on this.
Oh, that's a good cover, her and Constantine. Oh, no. This is the one here. Yeah, that's sick. I like that one better. Yeah. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. This is the one now. I'm probably picking up 2 covers for this one now. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, okay. Yeah. What are you, Chris? This one?
I know it's a couple good ones in there. I gotta kind of see what's up. If I get this one, then I gotta get the Harley one, and I gotta get the Supergirl one.
But they're all pretty nice.
They're like I'm not gonna get the Aquaman one, but
no, but I think
those ones are pretty decent.
For the books I'm reading, though, I will get them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go out of my way, but if there's a few there though that books I'm already reading, like the Harley and this, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll pick those up. Nice House by the Sea. I'm probably gonna wait to read this in trade, but really looking forward to that. That's the sequel to Nice House on the Lake. That's a great book. You got Facsimiles here, and then now we're in the other section. From the DC Vault, another fucking Death in the Family. Robin Lives. No, I'm out on this. I'm just, I guess, retelling the story again. I don't know. DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis. Instead of I Know What You Did Last Summer, I'm guessing. I'm sure no one fucking gets that reference here. Not you, Chris, but like people that might be checking that out at the store. Because, comics is a hobby for kids, right? Lobo cancellation special, Chris.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Oh, and look, see who's writing it.
Kyle fucking Star. Oh, I'm in on this 100%. I'm in. Kyle Hotz on art, one shot. I'm in. I'm in
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
I'm in you, Bastiches. I'm in. Let's do it. Kyle Starks. Yeah, that's a good voice for that one. My Adventures with Superman #4. No, but I heard this is a good animated series. Somebody was telling me about this the other day. Apparently, it's a good show, good animated series that they're doing. Batman '89. No. Mad. And I think we're getting into this other shit now. Looney Tunes. Yeah, no. Okay, that's it. All right, that's gonna do it for DC. And then very quickly, let's just take a look at Image. I think the Image is out too, in case there's anything there worth talking about. Yeah, some interesting stuff there though. All right. What are we doing here? This is all trades and hardcovers.
But I'm happy to give him Kyle Starks a good book or somebody can sink his teeth into, with
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, you can give him these fun one shot. Apparently, he did. There's a character too from back in the day that's like another ridiculous character called Wild Dog. He did the backups of short stories of that character in that Batman Brave and the Bold book, and
Yeah.
I heard good things about that too. So like, if they keep giving me these weird like characters that DC has, and I'm into that. Like, if that's what gets him on a book, or if those are the type of books he wants to do, yeah, like keep giving him those projects because maybe this Lobo one shot will hit and it'll become an ongoing. You never know, right? So I would definitely check that out because I like him a lot, Kyle Starks. All right, first up we got Creep Show. Let me just bring it up on the screen here, of course. 1 second, as I closed it. All right, Creep Show Volume 3, 1 of 5. Yes,
that's your boy there.
Yeah. Oh, Zdarsky's writing one of them. Yeah. And James Stokoe is doing the other one. He also did this cover. I'm a huge fan of James Stokoe. Yeah, I'm definitely picking this up. Yeah. I like this. Actually, as I'm not big on anthologies, but I was quite positive about this Creep Show one. I thought there was always at least one out of the two stories in the issues were good. So I quite liked it enough to probably continue to get this. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to pick this up though, for sure. Deadeyes returns. Wow. This book, Jerry Duggan wrote this book. I have the trade fucking paperback of this book. It came out like 4 or 5 fucking years ago, I feel like, and I'm surprised. They always said there was going to be more, but then it just never happened. So yeah, this is them coming back with a new miniseries. I'll probably read this digitally just because I'll probably pick up the trade, but I was a big fan of this one the first time around. So I'm sure they're going to make it accessible for people because I'm sure no one remembers this book, but this was a good book. Jerry Duggan, I'm a big fan. I think you're a fan of his too, for the most part, right, Chris? I think his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horizon Experiment, The Manchurian #1. No, probably not. This is like some book that he's doing, like this Horizon Experiment, and there are a bunch of one shots by different artists that he's working with. It kind of sounds like an interesting idea. He's got Terry Dodson doing this one to him. I don't know if they're supposed to be acting as pilots for new series. So I don't know if that's the point of these, like they're trying to get these things made, or this is just the approach that he's having to the series, but he does sound like he's going to be working with some interesting artists for this one. Well, I mean, if we're going to go off title alone, this sounds like a lot of fun. Knights versus Samurai. So
I saw that one. I thought you might like that one.
Yeah. This is the first I'm hearing about this. Of course, we got a cover by Francesco Mattina, the guy that everyone's talking shit about with his AR work right now. Get a lot of work there. I don't know this writer or artist that's doing this series though, so I'll probably might just check this out in digitally, but sounds interesting. Lady Mechanica, no. The Moon is Following Us, 1 of 10. Yes, I'm in on this. Now, I seen Daniel Warren Johnson announce this the other day. This is written by him, but it's drawn by Riley Rossmo, who I'm a huge, huge fucking fan of. So I think the fact that these two are working together, yeah, this sounds like it's like a fun story. I'm in on this. Sam and Duncan Lamar love their 6-year-old daughter, Penny, more than anything in the whole world. But half a year ago, she was taken by that Cascade, an evil force they barely understand. Now Sam and Duncan must fight side by side with the magical beings Penny cherished to try and get her back before she's gone forever. So yeah, it sounds like a whole like family kind of thing here. But I do like both Dana Warren Johnson and Riley Rossmo, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out. Sounds good. Tin Can Society, no. Violet Flowers #1, no. But I like this artist a lot. She did another book called Crave. Her art's really interesting looking, but I probably won't pick this up in issues, but I like her art. Local Man, yes. I'm not picking
Yeah,
it up.
definitely read it.
I'll read it digitally. Yeah, this is Local Man 25. This has been a good series still. Oh man, Ultra Mega returns. Oh, this is a big month so far between these two solicits for me. This book is awesome. Again, this is an awesome, really, really fucking good artist, James Heron. He writes and draws this, and it's like a kaiju story. He did 4 issues of this years ago. Again, like because he's not a fast artist. I think this came out like 3 years ago or something. And this is him returning to it. I guess this says 5 of 8, so he's coming back with more. I have the first volume of this book. Yeah, I'm going to pick up the issues of this too. This is great kaiju action. Great kaiju.
I'm gonna give this a try.
Yeah, it's good. This is going to be a big hit. Honestly, it was a big hit the first time it comes around. This is one of those books that people constantly ask at the comic book store that they never have in stock, and because I've seen it, I witnessed that, and it's something people always look for. And then just a lot of the other series. Destro, we're going to be picking up. Drawing Blood, I've been enjoying. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, I've enjoyed the first issue. Whatever. Geiger's been great, as I mentioned. Holy Roller is wrapping up, it looks like, this month. Kea returns. The Public Domain's continuing here. The other Jeff Johns Red Coat book. Saga is happening again, it looks like. Savage Dragon. I seen that there was an issue out there this week, Chris. Another one of these wacky issues that the Mickey Mouse thing going on.
Right. I gotta read that.
Yeah, Scarlet. Definitely gonna pick that up. Take a look at some of the covers here. Nice, getting some more covers now for that. Oh, that's a nice one. Might go with that one. That one looks nice. And actually, let's look at the other ones. Let's look at the Destro covers here.
No, I'm a sucker for the spoilers.
Oh, yeah. I actually ordered, I think it was a Scarlet spoiler cover. Did you order that?
No.
Okay, I think there was one for
Scarlet. Well, no, I don't think I've put my second Scarlet in yet.
Oh, okay. Scorch is continuing here. Transformers 12, end of the story arc, and I think it's the end of Daniel Warren Johnson writing it, unless he signed on for more, but I believe he only said he was doing up to issue 12. Universal Monsters Frankenstein #2, Michael Walsh. Yes, definitely gonna grab that. And that's about it here. That's it for Image Solicits. It's good stuff there. All right, Chris, what are you looking forward to checking out next week?
Oof, let me load this stuff up here. I don't think it's a giant week next week either. Let's see. So it's the week of the 19th?
Yes.
Yeah, so for DC, I'm getting Batman, probably Catwoman, Nightwing 115, Wonder Woman 10. We got a variant cover on that? No, I don't think so. Let's see. That's all for DC. We got Marvel. Ooh. Amazing Spider-Man 52.
Yeah.
I heard Iron Man might be ending at 20.
Okay. Yeah. I knew he wasn't going to have much after the X-Men stuff. Yeah. Makes sense.
I'll probably read She-Hulk, got Ultimate Spider-Man 6. And I'll probably read the Venom, or not Venom, I mean Wolverine Blood Hunt too. I like that first one. And I think that's it. I don't know if there's much from Image. Where the hell is Image? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Destro's coming out, so that's good. And maybe Spawn.
Okay. What do I got here? I got World's Finest, Nightwing 115, Wonder Woman 10, Amazing Spider-Man 52, Destro #1, like you said, Doctor Strange 16, TMNT Black, White, and Green #2, TMNT The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution number 2, which has been like a few months, I feel like, since the first issue came out of that. Ultimate Spider-Man number 6. Yeah, actually, I got a pretty big week here, I feel like. Uncle Scrooge Infinity Dime number 1, Chris. Got to watch out for that one.
Let me take that one.
With the Alex Ross fucking cover of him jumping into the bank. Come on now. Then you got Wolverine Blood Hunt number 2. And that's it for things I'm picking up physically. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I'm reading digitally next week, but it's a pretty decent sized week for me for things I'm picking up. Did I say Batman? I don't know if I did. Batman comes out next week, right?
I thought it was there, but I could be.
No, I have it here, but I didn't have it on my written down on my pull list here. Yeah, Batman 2, I guess. Catwoman comes out. I don't know if you're still reading that. Let's see here. Okay, nothing else from Marvel. Sorry, nothing else from DC, it looks like. Image. Yeah, I think it's just Destro. I don't know. Red Coke 3 comes out. I might not read that. We'll see. Marvel. No, I think that's about it. I'm not reading Thor anymore. Oh, Iron Man. I'll read Iron Man, of course. Iron Man 19. I think you mentioned. And She-Hulk 9, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it, though, I think, for things I'm reading digitally from them. Yeah, everything else I'm interested in picking up. So, yeah, I think that's it. All right, that's going to do it for books that we're going to be looking forward to reading on June 19th there. Make sure to tune in next week to hear all about them. Chris, your favorite book of the week, man?
Well, I always feel bad when it's the book I didn't buy, but I think I'm going to have to go with Deviant. I don't know if I picked that before, but I've been enjoying that series, even though it's sort of not your kind of big two type of comic book, but it's still a good read.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll second that. I think it's been good, but it's not my favorite of the week this week. It is also a book I didn't get the physical issue of. That's mine this week, though. And I got to go with Geiger number 3. I just think it's been getting better and better. I think it's really good. You've been finding interesting things that kind of talk about like good character development on this book. And yeah, another Image book there for you. So no big 2 for us this week, but that's okay. I love to see a lot of the other books like indie stuff or Image books and stuff like that. Like kind of rise to the top amongst all the usual superhero books that we read here. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's a good story, and you know, like Gary Frank and Jeff Johns, I think, are doing a great job on the book so far. It's one of those things where it's like I would say it's a good return to form, but I think this like second go round of them returning to the series after the first installment is actually better than the first one. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I would say runner up though would have been what do you call it this week? Would be Deviant for me as well, actually. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you got that right there. I think Deviant would have been my runner-up on this. Nothing else really. Oh, no, Avengers 15 was good too, actually. I did like it. I did like it as a Blood Hunt tie-in, but I think that's just because maybe the stakes were low for that one, or I'm just like, I wasn't going to read it. No, but I think it was good. I liked it for sure. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this week, guys, of Comic Shop Talk. Make sure to like and subscribe. And you can catch us here every week. So make sure to tune back in, and you can hit the notification bell to be notified of when these drop if you're confused, because sometimes it drops on different days. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community. All right, Chris, thank you.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.